Most people think that once they start budgeting, their money problems will finally feel under control. You track your income, plan your expenses, and make sure your bills are covered. Your salary arrives, the numbers go into your bank account, and you even try to build some savings while slowly paying down debt. On paper, everything looks organized, responsible, planned. And yet somehow money still feels tight. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but the pressure never really disappears. You sit down and make a budget because you want control. You want clarity. You want to know where your money is going. At first, it feels good. You list your rent, groceries, transport, subscriptions, and loan payments. You tell yourself this time it will be different. This time you'll stay on track. And sometimes you do. The bills get paid, nothing is overdue, you check your bank account and everything looks normal. No surprises, no emergencies. Technically, everything is fine, but you still feel restricted. Think about it. You open your banking app and see a number that should feel okay. Not terrible, not amazing, just stable. But instead of relief, you feel cautious, careful, almost tense, like one unexpected expense could ruin the balance. You've probably felt this. Salary day comes and for a moment, everything looks better. The number in your account jumps up. It feels like progress, like breathing space. But then the automatic payments start. Rent goes out, utilities go out, insurance goes out, subscriptions renew, groceries get bought, fuel gets filled. And suddenly the number drops faster than expected. Nothing unusual happened, nothing irresponsible, just normal life. But here's the problem. Budgets are usually built around ideal situations, stable weeks, predictable spending, perfect discipline. Real life doesn't work like that. Real life includes small surprises, a broken phone cable, a higher electricity bill, a friend's birthday gift, a ride you didn't plan, medicine you didn't expect. None of these things are huge, but together they slowly push your spending beyond the neat lines of your budget. And the strange part is, you might still technically be within your limits, yet money still feels tight. This happens to a lot of people. One reason is that budgeting shows where money goes, but it doesn't change how fast it disappears. Seeing the numbers clearly can actually make the pressure feel more real. When you know exactly how much is left, every purchase feels heavier. Before budgeting, spending felt casual. After budgeting, spending feels like a decision with consequences. Every small purchase becomes a calculation. Can I afford this? Should I wait? Will this affect next week? Will I still have enough left? Think about it. You're standing in a store looking at something small, not expensive, not irresponsible, but you still hesitate. Not because you can't buy it, but because you know exactly what it will do to your balance. And that awareness can make money feel tighter than it actually is. Another reason money feels tight is that budgeting often focuses on survival instead of comfort. You budget for rent, you budget for food, you budget for transport, you budget for bills. But when the essentials are covered, there may not be much left for flexibility. Your budget works, but it doesn't feel good. You're stable, but not relaxed. This happens to a lot of people. There's also something psychological happening. Budgets remove the illusion of extra money. Before you tracked everything, your account balance felt like spending power. Now it feels like responsibility. That number isn't free money anymore. It's already assigned. Part of it belongs to rent. Part of it belongs to bills. Part of it belongs to groceries. Part of it belongs to future expenses. So even if your bank account shows a decent amount, it doesn't feel available. It feels spoken for. You've probably noticed this. The number looks okay, but it doesn't feel okay, because mentally, most of that money is already gone. Another reason budgeting can feel tight is that expenses rarely stay the same. Prices rise slowly, groceries cost a little more, fuel costs a little more, services cost a little more. But your budget stays fixed, and your income might stay fixed too. So even though you're budgeting, the gap between income and expenses quietly shrinks. You don't notice it in one big moment. You notice it as a feeling. Things just feel tighter than they used to. Think about it. There was probably a time when your salary felt more comfortable. The same income covered the same bills with less stress. Now it feels like the margin is thinner. And nothing dramatic changed, just small increases everywhere. Another reason money feels tight is that budgeting doesn't eliminate uncertainty. Even when everything is planned, the future is unknown. You might worry about job stability. You might worry about repairs. You might worry about medical costs. You might worry about emergencies. So even when your budget works today, your mind keeps thinking about tomorrow. And that quiet uncertainty makes stability feel fragile. You've probably felt this. You finish paying your bills, and instead of relief, you think, what if something happens next month? What if an unexpected expense shows up? What if the budget stops working? And suddenly, the feeling of control turns into a feeling of pressure. There's also another reason people don't talk about. Budgets create limits. Limits are necessary, but limits don't always feel comfortable. When you live within a budget, you're constantly aware of boundaries. You know what you can spend and what you shouldn't spend. That awareness protects your finances, but it can also create a sense of restriction. You're not overspending, you're not irresponsible, you're just aware, and awareness can feel like pressure. Think about it. Someone without a budget might spend freely and feel relaxed in the moment. You spend carefully and feel tense. In the long run, you're better off, but in the short run, it doesn't always feel easier. This happens to a lot of people. Another reason money feels tight is that saving money reduces what you can use today. When you transfer money into savings, your future becomes safer, but your present becomes tighter. Your account balance drops, your spending room shrinks, and even though saving is smart, it can feel like loss in the moment. You've probably felt this. You move money into savings, and instead of pride, you feel slightly uncomfortable, like your safety cushion is growing, but your daily flexibility is shrinking. It's a strange trade-off. Security later, restriction now. And sometimes the restriction feels stronger than the reward. Daily spending also plays a role. Not big purchases, small ones. Coffee, snacks, transport, apps, subscriptions. Small things that individually don't matter much, but they add up quietly. And even when your budget accounts for them, they still make money move constantly. The account goes up on payday and then slowly slides down, day after day. And watching that slow decline makes money feel unstable even when everything is planned. You've probably noticed this pattern. The account goes up, then it goes down. Every month, the cycle repeats. And stability starts to feel temporary, like you're always resetting instead of progressing. But here's something important to understand. Feeling tight doesn't always mean you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean your budget failed. It doesn't mean you're bad with money. Sometimes it simply means your budget is realistic. Realistic budgets leave limited space because real life is expensive, and being aware of that reality can feel uncomfortable. The truth is, budgeting doesn't eliminate financial pressure, it reveals it. It shows exactly how much room you really have, and sometimes that room is smaller than you expected. The truth is, most people who budget carefully are not failing. They're actually doing the right thing. They're paying attention, they're planning ahead, they're protecting their future. But they're also living in a world where costs rise, margins shrink, and stability takes constant effort. And that's why money can still feel tight even when you budget. Because the real challenge isn't just managing money, it's staying financially stable in a world where stability takes more work than it used to.